Do you know what I like? Do ya? Pokemon. Do you know what else I like? My girlfriend. Do you know what she likes? I mean, hopefully me, but guess something else from nicknames. And do you know what I hated flying to because I'm a terrible flyer and I was actually vomiting just from the stress of it? Our Japan holiday together. And do you know what we got from there? Plushies! And I mean plushies! And since we each got over the magic number of 10, I decided to do a hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokemon Sun using only my girlfriend's newly acquired plushies. And I say girlfriend, but look at this, she drank a stein of tea while cooking omaraki. That's wife material right there. And she finished it. Also, if you're curious, another reason we went to Japan is that she needed to get a black belt from the last surviving founding Grand Sensei after having learnt Aikido for years of her life. And since she passed, Grand Sensei presented her with a traditional hand-woven and painted banner he made himself to commend her Bushido and her skill. Anyway, here's mine. Since Grand Sensei was like 90, I'm not sure he realized I was just there taking pictures and not a student in the class. As for the plushies, since she prioritized cuteness and adorableness over stats and competitive viability, how inconsiderate, we're gonna be in for a tough time. So let's get into it. And as a reminder, we're playing on hardcore Nuzlocke rules. So any fainting and our Pokemon is out, no overleveling, and after each totem, we get a new friend. After giving my details to the supermodel Professor number 3, wait, how is Rockruff sitting on his back? His claws must be really digging in. Can't you just feel that warmth? The first day. Was that the doorbell? Oh, just let yourself in, why don't you? Well, I go off to the ruins looking for the island Kahuna, jump on a live living grenade, get rescued by a golden rooster, and then get asked to pretty please don't tell anyone about this whole live grenade Pokemon thing. So we get back and look, it's Kahuna Hala, who asked what we were doing. Nebby was attacked by Spearow on the plank bridge where this boy helped. Lady, you just told me that was a secret! Well, Hala rewards me for my ability to keep a secret, and we get the opportunity to see the 3 Alolan starters. First is the Fire-type Litten. Next is the Water-type Poplio. And last is the Grass-type Pokemon Rowlet.
Out of the way, you!
I grab the cutest one so my rival will have a Fairy type against my real starter, LingLing. And to make sure Rowlet gets loved, I give him to my nephew to play with. Some seal clubbing later and it's home time. What a stunning sunset. Alright, today's the day that I finally unpack. Was that the doorbell? Professor, we talked about this. Well, LingLing gets his first friend Oberon, and we're off.
I will be your champion.
Oh yeah, Rockruff! Give it all you've got! This does sound a little like animal cruelty, not gonna lie. Well, it's through the trainer school as Oberon gets to prove his worth by scorching Magnemites and burning Meowths. Then it's Holy City with beaches and scarves to steal from old ladies. Tell me, does your mommy buy all your clothes for you?
Of course she did. Who else would have?
All right, you win this round.
Why are you trying to act hard when we're already as hard as a bone out here, homie? Hard as a bone and approaching a child and a woman? Police! Well, after beating them off,
Very poor choice of words.
it's time for the first trial at Lima. Against the lead Yungoos, Oberon is able to get 3 embers off and then burn with Flame Body before letting LingLing handle this. We fake out, and despite the added damage from Sheer Force this time, it still doesn't kill. So LingLing takes a little damage before being able to play the Mongooses and Beagle's bellies like drums, and that's the first boss battle. What's the matter, Tauros? You're afraid of badly rendering grass? Now we just need to save some berries from Team Skull and we can use them for harder battles, and then it's totem time, baby! Defeat 3 of the Pokemon that lurk hidden in their dens and collect the Z Crystal.
Oh, one more thing.
Oh yeah, mentioning the totem Pokemon seems important, dude. Ooh, Brick Break, that's perfect for my Sheer Force LingLing. Wait, it isn't boosted? But Burning Jealousy is? Even though both breaking screens and stat boosts in the turn are conditional for secondary effects? Oh, Snorer's on here too? Snore can flinch? Oh, and Zap Cannon. Beware the 156 base power Zap Cannon from Tauros. Totem time. I did start the trial under the level cap. Wasn't expecting the amount of XP I got with only 2 Pokemon, so I'm 1 over. The Gumshoes has a defense boost, so I first set up a workup and take a soft bite. Gumshoes then calls his ally Yungoos, and after a Super Fang and a tackle, LingLing gets taken down to his Oranberry, before one-shotting the Yungoos with a Brick Break. On the next turn, we take another soft bite as a Brick Break does well over half, and since we don't get a crit, LingLing can then claim victory with 1 more Brick Break. Alima then teaches me how to do the normal Z move, which I will not be using in this run. Moving right along.
Oh, just one more thing, sir.
Totem Pokemon may summon ally Pokemon to shore up their offense. One totem down as we get to welcome Javia Pienya, the Venipede, to the team. After saving Nebby again, we get ambushed by a rival fight, and Oberon gets hit down to the red with a quick attack and Electro Ball crit, only managing to get off 2 embers. I switch to Javia to now prove his worth, as he gets hit down to the danger zone with the same 2 moves, only managing to miss a Screech. An Oran Berry takes us up enough so that we can get off 1 Screech that hits before switching to LingLing on a nasty Electro Ball that does almost half. Our priority Fake Out is then able to knock out the Pikachu from there. And thankfully, since Popplio doesn't have the Fairy typing yet, our Brick Break is able to do enough damage that we knock it out before it sweeps our team. Kahuna boss fight time, and these are known to be notoriously tough. But I think LingLing and the gang are up to the challenge. I lead Oberon against the Mankey and hit an Ember as he just sets up with a Focus Energy. We then trade Pursuits and Embers, one of the Pursuits critting, Hala heals with a Super Potion, and then both take a round of Pursuit and an Ember from Oberon gets a crit and... Oh, Arceus. It's now at quadruple attack and has 1 in 4 chance to crit. Oberon does get a Flame Body proc in his death, but that gets healed with a full heal, and needless to say, we wipe. Attempt 2, and everyone is a little different stat-wise. But here we go again. This time I lead Javia into the Mankey. The plan is to get Screeches off, not risking critting again. Javia gets hit by a Pursuit before missing a Screech. Great start. We then eat another Pursuit as Javia misses another Screech. Even better, we then get hit down to a Berry as Javia misses a 3rd Screech, which is making me want to screech at Javia to show him how it's done. After accomplishing nothing, I switch to Oberon as Mankey sets up with the Focus Energy. This time we actually get the Flame Body proc first turn, as Oberon clearly wants to clean up from Javia's bad luck. Hala doesn't decide to use his full heal here for some reason, probably because he knows he's going to get a crit this turn as we trade another Pursuit for an Ember. After one more turn of this, I switch to LingLing, at least expecting a Super Potion, but instead eating a double damage Pursuit. LingLing then eats a crit Karate Chop as he sets up a workup. Frustratingly, this monkey still doesn't die as it has just enough health to live the burn, as LingLing now has to eat yet another crit Karate Chop and set up a second workup. Oh, and Whirlwind? This might be a great way to even the odds in all those totem fights. Hala then sends out his Makahita for the honor battle, first dealing damage with Fake Out, as is the Makahita way. But after that, LingLing gets the outspeed and almost one-shots with a +2 Brick Break, just eating a Sand Attack, thankfully not missing the second one. Cabrola is last, and with his Z move incoming, I switch to my Bug Poison type Javia to quad resist it, getting hit for a whole 7 damage. Javia then gets hit with a Leer before hitting his Screech. It's then to Oberon as the crab starts to set up with Power Up Punch, but with no Flame Body proc, I switch out, and he pursues for the kill. And of course gets the Flame Body proc, and since my other Pokemon are so slow and Poison Sting is such an abysmal move, I actually just wipe here again. So yes, I kind of threw that, but we live and we learn. And I gotta say, I reset and threw myself at this battle a few times, but Hala's team is just so solid. That stupid Mankey is just so good at either being too bulky to not die to my weak attacks, getting Anger Point crit, or critting back with Karate Chop. So skipping forward to the attempt that got me through, with EV training as tightly as I can at this level, begins with leading LingLing against Mankey to trade a Brick Break for a Karate Chop. Mankey then sets up a Focus Energy as Brick Break 2 gets the kill. Stupid monkey! Against the rival Makahita, I switch to Oberon on the Fake Out, actually managing to get a burn on this first Ember, just taking a Sand Attack. It's then back to LingLing as Hala, capricious as he is, uses his full heal on the burn. LingLing then hits 2 Brick Breaks to get the KO, only eating 1 Sand Attack. Cabrola is out last again, so it's off to Javia as we just take a Leer on the switch. We then protect expecting the Z move, but ends up being just another Leer. Also Javia has Speed Boost this time round, and he appears to be hitting his Screeches, as we just take another Leer for some reason. We protect again, this time getting hit with the Z move, taking only 5 damage. Sent to Oberon as Cabrola again starts his Power Up Punch setup. We get the burn on the second Ember, and this crab is officially now put on ice. From there, it's back to Javia to protect stall and do tiny bits of damage with Poison Sting until it goes down. And hours of my life later, we are through. And now that I've unlocked the Tauros ride, I can get Infestation and Thief. Okay, time to check if I can Whirlwind in these team-up ally battles. Aww. It's then to Akala Island, where we get to meet... Oh my. Nice to meet you too, Olivia. And they gave us 2 separate shots of her walking away. Yeah, they planned on giving us thoughts that aren't in the Bible. Also, I love that the game decided to highlight in red the game parts of the conversation. You know, in case there are any audience members that just skip the dialogue. do the gameplay, and then complain that there aren't good characters or that there was no reason to get attached to them. Hal then ambushes us in an old western town for a showdown, and while his water fairy starter is getting scarier, I might finally have something to deal with it. He leads Pikachu against LingLing, hitting an Electro Ball for a third as LingLing hits a Brick Break for over half, triggering static. In the moment, I forgot about the speed reduction of paralysis in relation to Electro Ball, so Pikachu's next attack hits us to just 2 HP! A Brick Break gets the knockout from there. As Brion comes out, I make the switch to Javier on the incoming disarming voice. I then protect with a speed boost and get completely blindsided by the fact that Hal has a Z move this early into the game. So luckily I protected to not take full damage there. Javier then eats a soft Aqua Jet as a Poison Tail seems to do about the same amount. Not great since he's the one with priority. A second Aqua Jet then crits, hitting Javier down to just 7 HP as we get off a Screech and our Citrus Berry pulls us back to safety, but not out of crit range. Without many options, I hit a Poison Tail into Torrent range, but since Bryony's water move is just Aqua Jet and he doesn't go first, we are actually okay and just get hit with a pound. It's then to Oberon on a weak Disarming Voice and 2 Absorbs. That's right, Absorbs! Gets the victory. Why Hal didn't click Torrent boosted super effective Aqua Jet there, I do not know, but we take those. Green Bean located! Oh, it's Z moves for Zygarde! Doing squats really uses all your muscles. My legs are shaking so hard I can't move. First of all, amateurs. Secondly, surely they'll fall over in like 10 seconds and then I can pass. Or alternatively, can I just push them over myself? Are you even taking this seriously? Some Pokemon have a better sense of self-preservation than you. Battle me. I won't take no for an answer. Edgy? Wait a second. Edgy, slightly older black boy, super enthusiastic yellow boy, and naive to the world blue boy? This is just Sonic the Hedgehog! Well, Gladion leads Zubat and I lead Javier. And before you say it, remember I only have fighting and bug types. So in most playthroughs of my TenMon format, flying and psychic kinda ruin me. Javier hits a Screech as a wing attack hits us to just 19 HP. Our Citrus Berry heals us though, allowing us to take another non-crit. After a second Screech, the following wing attack, we live in the red. I switch to LingLing, who gets hit down to 37 with a third wing attack. We then go for a Sheer Force boosted fake out into the -4 defense and also inner focus Zubat, but gets the one shot. It's type null second, and at level 18 these stats are crazy to have to deal with. It hits a stab tackle for 26 HP, hitting us into the red as our Citrus Berry heals us. Our retaliatory Brick Break then does basically half. We're sitting at 30 HP, so we just have to pray for another high roll Brick Break and a low roll Tackle. Tackle comes out, and we live on 2 HP. Brick Break then indeed finishes off type null. Okay, boss fight over. How annoying. Edgy to the max? Check. It's not like me to slip up like that. Cocky? You know you can't beat me. You'll just get your Pokemon hurt for no reason. Check. They're good Pokemon. Secretly has a good heart? Check. That kid there, his Pokemon are weak. Tails stand in, catching strays? Check. Ooh, Charge Beam. And speaking of unfair stats, we now have to take on the Totem with stats like these? And it gets a free defense boost as well? And in the rain? Well, I lead Javier against the Totem Wishy-Washy, and with such high stats, my best bet for consistent damage is with Infestation. Wishy-Washy just hits Javier with a Soak, so I guess it's extra wet in the rain and now we have water resistance? Wishy-Washy then calls a single other Wishy-Washy, although I feel like it could just as easily peel off like 5 to make a Horde battle and then have them all use Helping Hand. Javier then protects for another turn of residual Aqua Ring? Oh, it's on the little one. Oh, thank Arceus, that scared the shit out of me when I had this Mammoth recovery. Javier then hits a Screech to have this beast be damageable as Wishy-Washy lets out a Helping Hand boosted Stab Water Gun in the rain, which does over half. If they hadn't soaked us to let us resist it, it would have one-shot us. A second Protect then shields us from a Growl? Well anyway, the Infestation now drops it below half, so we should— oh, it has a Citrus Berry. Well, it's now or never to prove yourself, Javier. A Poison Tail hits the school down to just under half as Wishy-Washy hits another Growl. Okay, the fish really are snapping defeat from the jaws of victory here. And after a third Protect, we switch to LingLing on another Helping Hand boosted Growl, and then take the KO with a Brick Break. And after that, the lone fish is no threat. Totem done, which means we unlock our new friend, Joel Miller the Rockruff. Now he's a cutie. Well, ni hao to you too. Warang wada nyo myang shulia, wanyo penyo shenji do ting budong wada jonwen.
Okay.
It's time for a Pokemon Battle Royale. Oh no, not the 1,000 battles I had to do in Legends EA. Also check out the LingLing balloon. Although this does create unrealistic body standards for my dumpling sumo boy. Remember to buy protection, kids. With the new level cap of the fire totem, we're able to evolve Javier into just the world's weirdest looking spinner. What was different about this dance? Oh, the middle one. What was different about this dance? The weirdy beardy. What was different about this one? Oh, it's the totem Salazar.
The black one!
Well, against the totem, I lead the world's goodest boy, Joel.
The black one!
Uses Torment as we just rock throw for over half. That Torment is actually a problem, as I would very much like to use rock throw, please. However, knowing Protect basically cancels this out since we can Protect and then on the next turn, eat a Toxic before taking the kill with another rock throw. This levels up Joel to learn the higher power Rock Tomb, although it turns out the TM for Rock Tomb is accessible and right outside. The ally Solander is then cleared as we can't Torment not use a move we have forgotten. I then take the time and care to nurse my sick puppy back to health and get rewarded by unlocking the next Pokemon. Another puppy? What can I say, my girl likes cute bugs and cute puppies, and her affection level tends to go up as brain cells decrease. Also, one small caveat is that on holiday the Pokemon Center was out of Midnight form Lycanroc and only had Dawn and Dusk. As some of you may know, which I didn't, is that Dusk form is only in the Ultra games, and that the Fat form is only in the anime. So for the sake of this run, I'm maxing out a Midnight form's attack and speed, and we're just going to pretend it's Dusk. Everyone welcome Din Durin. Din? Din? Oh, I didn't mean... You there. Oh, hi, Chorus. Yo, thanks for Flame Charge. Now Oberon will be really zipping about. He's this really cool bug I have from Univer that... Bro, do you mind not texting in the middle of our conversation? So rude, honestly. And speaking of TMs, don't forget Brutal Swing and Grassnut. I know I won't forget Grassnut. Well, thanks for the new level cap, we can now evolve LingLing into his sumo form.
Flip the rocky helmet over and let's pour that fresh water into it. Press A to pound.
Don't mind if I do. Mallow, why do you look so upset here to see the Lurantis? I thought that was the whole point of what we were doing here. Well, it's time to fight the normally slow Leafy girl that now has doubled speed. I lead Oberon, who takes a quad-resisted Race Leaf before using possibly the only ever useful case of String Shot, as I am able to drop the Lurantis' +2 speed back to neutral. Lurantis then calls in a Chumbeak, and while Oberon quad-resists Razor Leaf, he's quad weak to the Rock Blast that bird has, so it's time to get out of here. So it's off to LingLing, who takes minimal damage from an X-Scissor and a Rock Blast. LingLing then tanks a Power Herb Solar Blade that hits like a truck, and then a Supersonic to get confused. A Self Hit could really screw us here, but LingLing is able to fight through, and a Rock Tomb is able to one-shot the Trumbeak. It's then off to Javier to tank a 2-turn Solar Blade, as Javier of course just misses a Screech. Javier then misses a second Screech. Buddy, we've been over this. And gets hit with an X-Scissor. Javier then mans up and hits 2 Screeches in a row, getting hit down almost to the red. It's then back to Oberon as the X-Scissor on the switch triggers Flame Body. So it's just a matter of Flame Charge. Not getting the kill on a -4 defense. Oberon, you're never going to be champion with a performance like that. Lurantis is then able to call in a Cast Form for some help before she dies, but all it does is set up a Sunny Day. But since it's now Fire type, I can switch to Joel to take a resisted Headbutt, and a weakened Water Gun from the Sun Cast Form itself set up, as 2 Rock Tombs get the kill. Who's a good puppy? Yes, you are. We then get the TM for Smart Strike, and of course none of these idiot puppies or buggers can learn anything with the name Smart in it. What are the bets Rioli can't learn this move either? God, I hope the next Pokemon is useful. Oh, it's a Wimpod.
Not only is he a piece of shit, he clearly knows that he's a piece of shit.
Everyone welcome Whiskey. Actually, let me grab some of the namesake to get me through the second half of this island. Well, at least now we can go one level above the last level cap and can evolve the puppies into Lycanroc forms. And if you haven't guessed the naming theme by now, babe, I'm disappointed in you.
Go Nebby. Use Splash. Heh, I was acting just like I was Myth.
Lady, you think I have Pokemon with movesets so poor they have Splash? No, I have Pokemon with movesets so poor they couldn't even avoid getting trod on. Hey there, honey. This here's Professor Burnett. She runs the Dimension Research Lab. And she's also my wife. Dude, you're married and you're airing out those abs like a towel that just got toddlered on. Maybe don't have a huge homewrecker advertiser in the open like that. Not that I'm interested. It's just... This game really does remind me of my girlfriend. Since I'm playing through with her plushies and all.
No other reason?
Not one.
We may not be trying to take over the world or nothing, but we're still hard as bone out here. Dude, don't say that in front of kids. We've been over this. Oh, so it turns out you can just walk behind police officers. I guess crime really is legal now. Aw, Delibird delivering presents. Merry Christmas, by the way. I'm writing this on Christmas Eve. And don't forget your Eviolites, kids. Oh, hey, Nosepass. Can I go upstairs? No, pass. Oh, I can't pass? Pass. Yes, pass. That is what I want to do. Pass, pass. Is that a yes? Because I can't help but notice you're still blocking my way. Pass?
Not for the games. Say it. Just say it. Talk, you stupid.
Hips, 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 hips. Oh, hi, Olivia. Hips, 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 hips. High interest posterior specimen leads with Nosepass, as I lead with LingLing. And this is just a matter of getting thunderwaved and sparked as I brick break twice. Boulder is next, who goes for headbutt, but we're able to get neither full parried nor flinched, and land another brick break. But since I want a Doggin for the rock type Z move coming up, I switch to Joel on a resisted headbutt. A brick break from there sadly doesn't pick up the kill as we get hit down to half with a rock blast. A follow-up brick break takes it out, and then it's time for a puppy showdown. Joel then... Wait, 27? You lied to me, Nuzlocke.app/guide/son. Anyway, Joel protects as he proceeds to get absolutely squashed by the other puppy. But at least the Z move is out of the way. A brick break from us does over half as a strong rock through knocks us down to the red. That would have killed with a crit, so I shouldn't have gambled, but since this dog has neither counter nor Accelerock, we're free to outspeed and take the KO with another brick break. Aw, what did I tell you about playing in the mud? Let's get you cleaned up, Joel. You look filthy. And a yellow treat for the color of LingLing, and a blue treat for the color of... Hey, you eat your food, mister. Joel! I swear there'll be no more walks to the dog park unless you eat your dinner right now, young man! I'm going to count-
rock type Z power, you have to move it like this to draw it out. Watch carefully because the hip movement is crucial.
Okay, so this was always Game Freak's plan. Oh wow, even Lily is drooling at the display.
Oh no, the Boston Fanty Party has turned all the water piss orange. No! Oh no, it's spread to the other side of the island as well!
Well, with that, it's time to go to the Ether Foundation and... Oh? Even Kahuna Olivia has come to see me off.
As a kahuna, I've looked after the Traugos who go to my island. They're like my own children. Not that I've got any. I've never even gotten married.
Oh, we're reaching mummy levels that have only been theorized.
Aether Paradise is a safe haven for all Pokemon. Corsola, for example. They are quite terribly overhunted by a Pokemon called Toxapex.
I mean, looking at those stat spreads, I'm not surprised.
Toxapex crawls along the ocean floor on its 12 legs. It leaves trails of Corsola bits scattered in its wake.
Jeez, this is a kid's game.
My sweet Pokemon, I promise I'll keep you safe. I'll protect you with my love. Call me Lusamine. I will be like a mother to all those poor Pokemon and shower them with my love.
Oh, move over, Olivia. I don't want to goon to you anymore. There's a new mummy in town. Nihilego then shows up to spoil the party, and after some brick breaking from Joel, it just takes a single look at LingLing and then the Ultra Beast flees. And just look at the eyes they gave Lusamine here. Exactly like how to draw the mummy eyes. Off to Ula Ula, and turns out you don't get a break between Nihilego and Hao, so I'm going to this leading Joel against his now Alolan Raichu. Joel is able to outspeed and hit a bite into the red before a retaliatory Psychic does the exact same. Again, I would have been punished by a crit, but honestly, I don't think anything else in my team does a better job here. I have so many Psychic weaknesses. But regardless, we take the kill with an Accelerock. The Steel Pure Water type Brionne is out next, and with a Water Z in the rain, I'm scared. I switch to Whiskey as the only member to resist it, but Hal is smart enough to not waste his Z move and just goes for a normal Bubble Beam. But this is more than enough to hit Whiskey down to the red and send him packing with his cowardice. LingLing then comes out for the starter showdown as the Z move smashes him down to just 40 HP, and our Brick Break hits for under half. We then take another Bubble Beam into the red as our retaliatory attack does the same. Deja vu. But with 3 Pokemon now in the red, I switch to Devere holding an Eviolite, who gets hit down to just 19 HP. We then protect to get the speed boost, and a Bug Bite takes the kill from there. Last is Flareon, so with our healthy rock puppy, Dingerin, we've got this in the back. He burned me with Fire Fang! Accelerock now does about a quarter, and we have to deal with more Fire Fangs, quick attacks, and residual burns. We actually get taken down to our Citrus Berry before we win here. But no deaths. Praise Arceus. LingLing, let me dry you off after such hard work. Remember to put all that sweat in a jar though. I gotta either craft it into close combat TMs or sell it to whoever wants to use it.
Hey Myth, do you know?
Of course.
I haven't even finished the question yet.
Yeah, that's just like using Mimic when your opponent hasn't used a move yet. Damn, Nebby is shaking that bad more than LingLing's Bodhi.
Oh, it's Professor Oak. And he has a turn.
Who cares? There's a LingLing cutout over there. Now I can finally be at peace. I am one with the dumpling boy, and he is one with me. Moraine is the next problematic boss battle since he specializes in steel types. And since out of his 3 mons, 1 is flying and 1 is psychic, so LingLing can't solo him. I lead Ginger in against Skarmory, and since I only have physical attackers, counter is my best strat. I click counter as Skarmory goes for air cutter. Okay Skarmory, you've got a super effective move here. Don't you think you should use it? Metal Claw, perfect. That hits me down to my berry, and now counter can hit Skarmory down to the red. Moraine then heals as I try to Accelerock to get the finishing blow. At least he's in counter range. So, Metal Claw, air cutter? Skarmory, use your super effective move. Well, he did the second time last time, so air cutter again? Skarmory, take the bait. Take the bait. I'm a rock type, weak to steel type moves. Skarmory, that third air cutter only did 6 HP of damage. Take the bait. Use a stronger move. Damn it, I can't risk the crit, so it's off to LingLing to handle this. Of course he continues to use air cutter on the switch, thinking he was still hitting my rock type. And the next turn he shows he knows air cutter is still the better move here. Ugh. Well, LingLing's neutral brick break does solid damage to such a defensive tank, but this does throw the rest of my game plan into jeopardy. Skarmory's Metal Claw? Moraine, is that head of yours purely for aesthetic purposes? And he Metal Claws again? Well, with my best steel type answer already in the orange, and with a used up berry, Moraine sends in Metang. And this is a problem. I switch to Javier, but after he knocks me below half, that was clearly a misplay. So it's off to Oberon as Metang decides to pursuit. That's actually really great for me since it means Oberon comes in healthy. Oberon takes a soft bullet punch before doing under half with a flame charge. A second bullet punch then triggers flame body, and Oberon looks like he low rolls, but the burn will make up for it. We protect just to make sure the third flame charge takes the kill. And by now Oberon is zooming. Alolan Dugtrio is last, and Oberon is able to hit for well over half, even getting faster until the Tangling Hair manages to exactly cancel it out. One last flame charge, and we've cleared Sucker Punch! Oh, 2 HP! Oh, Oberon, you beautiful bug, you!
I will be your champion.
Hey Ma, check it out! I can shock the fat kid whenever I want! Totem Vikavolt time, and it's got an Omni boost along with crazy strong special attacking stats. But it turns out Dingerin can just Swords Dance and then Accelerock, and that's the totem fight done? Nice. Fittingly that after the electric totem we get our new friend Reed Richards, the Joltik. And Oberon will have to sit in the box.
I will be your champion.
Yeah, come see me in 30 more levels, buddy. Also check it out, Persimmon thinks he's Negasonic Teenage Warhead. And with the new level cap we can now evolve Whiskey. And we can confirm that the reason they call him Whiskey is that he goes down smooth. Also his Pokedex entry says he can cut through air? Bro, everyone can do that! And we also evolved Javier into Scolipede, which now learns Baton Pass on evolution. And so with Baton Pass, Swords Dance, and Speed Boost, do I dare fall back on the Nuzlocke's crutch? Greetings, cower in public. Bro, there's like 2 people here, who are you kidding yourself? And besides, I ain't exactly cowering from the human spray paint standing in front of me.
Spray paint? What kind of lame trash talk is that?
Well, he leads Galissapod as I lead Dingerin. The first impression does solid damage, but then we're able to Swords Dance, use Accelerock to force him out, one-shot the Ariados, and then finish the pod. Tabushi Jinjin Dababa. Denta Churshi Mega Nihai Dababa. Oh, 5 points to whoever can guess what that Pokemon is right there. Did you guess Poliwhirl?
What do you think you're doing? Stop it. Stop it right now.
For real, girl. Right in front of my eyes. I'm just supposed to ignore that?
Now that is not what I call a Kentucky welcome.
And this dude has a Drowsy? Agent Whiskey, show them manners maketh man.
Manners maketh man. Let me translate that for you.
Aw, floating marrow. You're in the next video, I promise. And the camera doesn't let me turn around? And yet it does in the totem room? Next is Totem Mimikyu with an Omni boost, and this one is genuinely terrifying. With a Lumberry you can't status it easily, it has a decoy to not get one shot, and hits like a truck in a battle where you always have a 2v1. I lead Dingerin as the Mimikyu outspeeds and just goes for a Mimic before I even use a move. Girl, that's like answering of course before someone has even finished asking the question. Well, the disguise is broken now with a bite, and a Haunter has been called in. Haunter does some chip with Sucker Punch before Mimikyu's Play Rough absolutely bodies Din's health bar. A bite does one-shot the Haunter, so we're down to 1v1 again. but with Play Rough doing so much, I switched to Agent Whiskey, who's able to dodge a Play Rough on the switch. Stab first impression, then hits for just so little, while a Play Rough hits for under half. Then, because I probably get outsped before my planned emergency exit, Agent Whiskey hits a Sucker Punch for solid damage, then takes a Play Rough down to the orange, as Mimikyu then calls his ally Pokemon, and... Hey, what happened to my emergency exit? Mimikyu, you calling out for help should not outrank what is classified as an emergency. My bug needs to run! Now I'm forced to go for a pedestrian normie switch as I go to jaw, and luckily the Totem Mimikyu just uses a failed Mimic as Gengar fires off a hefty Shadow Ball. Mimikyu is then fast enough to outspeed on the following turn. It's a nasty Play Rough which hits Joel like a shotgun to the legs. Now with the free switch I deserved from Agent Whiskey, I go into Javier, who, after eating a hard Shadow Claw, is able to smack Mimikyu with a Poison Tail that actually poisons. This ends up being cured by the held Lumberry, but I like that your mind is in the game, Javier. Gengar's Nightshade then takes us down to 29 HP. So, if we one-shot Mimikyu, we can live another one. We Poison Tail again, and no crit, so Javier goes down. Our last hope is Reed Richards. He's just a cute little guy, and using the power of his adorableness, he doesn't die immediately. In fact, he dodges both a Play Rough and a Hypnosis, and hits a Thunder Wave, and he dodges another Hypnosis, and lands the finishing blow on Mimikyu with an Electro Ball. Reed, clearly the chosen one, is able to then Thunder Wave and Electro Ball twice to finish off the Gengar too. I couldn't ask for a better spider.
There's not even a back room in that shop.
But how do you explain the background of the image then? And right there! And burying two friends means we're getting Oberon back out of the box.
I will be your champion.
As well as our new friend, General Acacius.
Mad Dragon Grandpa!
Nods off a lot. Yeah, Grandpa be doing that.
You know how some Pokemon can steal HP from others with moves like Absorb and Mega Drain? Do you think it tastes different based on the Pokemon they steal it from?
Well, asking our resident Pokemon taste tester, this is the order he chose to put the Pokemon in, with tastiest on the right. Oh hey Grimsley, I still haven't forgiven you for what you did to me, by the way. So now that we have Sharpedo, is there any use for the Lapras ride? Ooh, X is a Psyshock, Poison Jab, and Sludge Bomb. You there, boy. Oh hi Nanu. Geez, I guess you're set up to join the group therapy depression club with Volkner and Larry. Yeah, I'm ready to raid the Team Skull hideout, and it'll be like taking candy from a very gullible child. And as we're clearing it, Reed Richards gets to evolve into his beautiful Spooder form. Man, girl sleepovers are so weird.
Alright, kid. This had better be good.
Yeah, proving whiskey is better than your pot is always a good reason. See, even you admit it was great. Also, check out how chill this toddler is during the abduction flashback scene.
Ugh, I'll show you how angry you make me.
Okay, I'm warming up to this edgy boy. So it's just a matter of getting Nanu off his fat ass to smack him up with my bug and fighting types. Hey look, he smiled. And then it's off to save Lily. Ooh, toxic. Hey look, one of the Aether employees brought us some ice cream. Puppies! Wait, where's the other one? Oh, right.
I know we aren't friends, but I'm glad you two are here.
Oh, my edgy boy is getting warmer. He even smiled. Pretty strong, ain't you? Then go right ahead. I'm no numbskull. I don't fight battles I can't win. Good choice. Guzma for the third and final time, and it's a Galissapod showdown. He gets the outspeed to hit a first impression. But then Whiskey, holding his silver power, is able to hit a second first impression to below half, triggering the emergency exit. Masquerain is second, and so we switch to Dingerin on a critical hit Air Slash, before taking the kill with a quad effective Accelera. The pod returns, so it's off to LingLing on a strong Razor Shell for under half, before LingLing can outspeed and hit a Rock Tomb for the kill. Pinch the third, and LingLing now has to take a rough Brick Break before our Rock Tomb hits for over half. Now in the danger zone, I switch to Oberon on a Brick Break, and then take a following X-Scissor before taking the kill with a Flame Charge. I'm kinda impressed Oberon is still putting in work despite being a first stage Pokemon, to be honest. Ariados is last, so we switch to General Acacius on a failed Sucker Punch. A Fell Stinger then hits for a quarter before our extra sensory hits down to the red. Acacius then takes one more Fell Stinger, making him go berserk.
You put your name in a goblet of fire.
Before taking the kill. Luzamine then goes really crazy, unloading all kinds of Ultra Beasts in Alola, and making for some amazing cutscenes that promise footage of fights we never actually get to see. She leads with Clefable, and right off the bat this is a big problem for my team. Really bulky, Magic Guard to not take any residual damage, a typing that my team doesn't handle well, able to heal itself, and can boost up its defenses. I lead Reed Riches to set up a sticky web so I don't have to worry about not outspeeding anything in the back, as she just sets up a cosmic power. I Thunderwave to possibly get some free turns of full power as she hits a rough Moonblast down to Reed's berry. I then Volt Switch up for pitiful damage and go to Dingerin on a Moonblast that does under half. Hoping she tries to set up, I go for Swords Dance as another Moonblast hits hard enough that we're still dead even after our berry. But this thing is such a threat, and I also have to try and answer her other Pokemon that I just go for the Accelerock. It does decent damage, as she gets fully paralyzed. Okay, we get another turn before I have to say goodbye to Dingerin. Lusamine then switches out a +1 Clefable? Huh? And goes into Beware, which is much more out of the frying pan and into the fire. Since this thing is a tanky monster, and my team is basically all physical attackers, and it even has an ability to halve physical damage. Now that Din's life can be saved, I switch out to Agent Whiskey, who just takes under half from a takedown, which is always a scary amount. Not enough to switch out, but enough to die to a follow-up crit. We hit a first impression for basically nothing. In hindsight, Leech Life would have been better, as a follow-up takedown doesn't crit and Whiskey gets the hell out of dodge. This gives us the perfect opportunity to go to General Acacius unharmed, and with the Sticky Web we should be able to outspeed and hit a super effective extrasensory, but Lizamine switches again? She really is bonkers. I've never seen an AI do this. But it's back to Clefable she goes, as it's Acacius' turn to be scared for his life. So it's off to Oberon as we thankfully get that fully parried turn we were hoping for. Oberon can then hit a Flame Charge for just a bit more chip as Clefable's Moonblast hits for not too much. We then hit a Psychic for tiny chip as Metronome unleashes a tiny Poison Sting on us. But now, thanks to that Psychic chip, a follow-up U-turn can take the kill and let me get Acacius back in for free, baiting in the Beware. Beware then uses Baby Doll Eyes as if to say, "Please don't kill me!" But Acacius only got this far in his career by discarding such pity and easily claims the bear's life. Miss Magius is third and hits a soft Mystical Fire to drop Acacius' special attack, meaning our Dragon Pulse now does under half. A Power Gem keeps Acacius above Hearst, as another Dragon Pulse just keeps Miss Magius above dead. Since we're normal type, we should never bait a Shadow Ball, which means it's barely safe to switch back to Dingerin on a Mystical Fire. An Accelerock can then take the kill. Lilligant is next, so it's back to Oberon on a quad-resisted Petal Dance, which thankfully gets the burn, halving Lilligant's attack. A Flame Charge then crits, but luckily for us, keeps Lilligant alive. This means we can take the kill next turn with another U-turn, giving Oberon 2 kills in this huge boss fight, and more importantly, letting us get in Reed Riches safely. We can then Volt Switch from here and go to the only fully healthy party member, LingLing, as my Logic just sets up a safeguard. And just like that, we're where we were at the end of my very first Nuzlocke. Hydro Pump comes out, dealing just over half as our Brick Break finishes off my Logic. That was for you, Kit Kat. Yo, a stick! Thanks, bro! I was working in Driftvale for a while, helping Pokemon that got separated from— Driftvale mentioned! And now we can finally get to Pony Island, the roughest of the islands. But it does let me grab Stone Edge for my no-guard doggy.
I'll be fine. I've got Max Repels with me.
Those only work if you got a strong Pokemon at the front of your party. That's how repel manipulation works. But here we can get the most important item in the game, a Focus Sash. But to do so, we have to beat a few trainers, and including these are some tough customers, like this random trainer that has Poisium Z that I have to beat. And look, it gets Grandpa Dragon all sick. Poor boy. There you go, champ. I also have to defeat Cock Phil and his parasite— Wait, what was his name? Oh, Phil. Oh, buddy, you gotta find a different profession. By defeating Oricorio, I can get the one and only copy of a Focus Sash for me to use. Oh, ni hao again. Chinaida, wajenda he bio chen. Natsu, wajenda boshi go yi wan ji na tiao. Cole's flyby points. The kahuna? We don't have one here on Pony. Waji Shangdala, Sanga Xiaohua, Nija Pichonma. I'll need permission from the kahuna first? But you don't have one! Ooh, Frost Breath. Ruins of Hope. Could you lighten up a little, Pony Island? I'm doing a Nuzlocke here.
He's a peeping Tom.
A collector? Oh, I do not want to know what he's been collecting. You can go through here when you're the champion. But Alola doesn't have a champion yet! How the heck did that guy get in there? Welcome, table 4-1. Hey, f*** you, buddy. You just assume I'm single? I'm only doing this challenge because I at the very least require a table for 2.
Executor Island. It's an uninhabited place off the coast of Pony, isn't that right?
If it's uninhabited, why does it have that name?
It's just a name, like the Death Zone or the Zone of No Return.
You want me to teach Dragon Ascent to your Pokemon, am I correct? Wait, this is the guy? This is the guy blessed by Rayquaza to teach his sacred move? This twice-divorced, balding failure? This guy? Well, step aside, Zinnia, I guess. You may not like it, but this is what peak Rayquaza Chosen One looks like.
The strongest Dragon-type move is Draco Meteor. Do you want me to teach you this move?
Yeah, Grandpa can learn it. It seems super useful.
The Pokemon has to be completely friendly towards you.
Cassius, you don't love me? Even after I nursed you back to health? I should put you in a home, you ungrateful piece of sh— There we go, he learnt his lesson about respecting his youngers. Okay, I think we're ready to take on the one who turns out to be the Kahuna, Hapu. And that stupid Chinese horse. Big challenge here is that her Pokemon are a decent bit higher than the totem, so I'm trying not to overlevel. She leads Dog Trio, setting up a Sandstorm. Being my lead, LingLing just gets the clean one-shot with a Brick Break. One down, but next is the scariest of all. Her Mudsdale, with the absolutely broken ability of stamina against my team of almost all physical attackers. And it outspeeds Dragon Grandpa. I protect in case of a Z move, but he just goes for counter. At least we were out a turn of Sandstorm. I then switch to Agent Whiskey as Mudsdale now decides to go for his ground type Z move. I swear, the unpredictability of the AI is going to be the death of me. I now do possibly my only win condition and Toxic the horse before I now get hit into emergency exit range. Although Citrus Berry brings me back up above half. But then the Sandstorm hits me back below half, so it's switch time. I send out Oberon to get a Protect off as the Sandstorm finally subsides. I then U-turn to LingLing, who has to eat a hard Earthquake. Another Protect later, and we're almost there. Switch back to Agent Whiskey as the only one bulky enough to take an Earthquake, as Toxic finally beats the horse. Flygon is third, so I pivot through Oberon, taking 2 hard Earth powers down to the red, before I'm able to U-turn out and get General Cassius in for free. So all up to you, Grandpa. The Dragon Breath comes out, and paralyzes. Our Citrus Berry gets us back over half as Dragon Pulse gets the clean one-shot. You want to learn Fly, Grandpa? Nah, I've seen the Disney documentary Up. I know old people shouldn't fly away. Gastrodon is last, and now thanks to the paralysis, she outspeeds and hits a Mud Bomb to lower Acacius' accuracy.
You shall not pass!
Ooh, Dazzling Gleam and Flamethrower. Neat, but without a fairy type, I can only think of one good plan to beat an Omni-boosted pseudo-legendary that wrecks my whole team. And that's by using General Acacius equipped with my only Focus Sash. The plan is simple. Live one hit and Draco Meteor him into the dust before any of his friends show up. Komao uses Protect? No. Now Hakamo's here. Well, I guess I click it again and Acacius gets a Sky Uppercut, and his body structure almost seems built to get uppercuttable. And Hakamo goes for Work Up! And Oberon can then take care of the weirdly low-level girl. This now unlocks Max Lord the Pyroar, so Oberon, it's back to the box for you.
I will be your champion.
Yeah, you've still got 13 more levels to go. Also, this is a TenMon challenge, but there are only 7 totems. It's the Ultra Gains that have 8. So I'll just unlock the final Pokemon, a Garchomp, at the Elite Four. And praise be a good Pokemon. Thank you, Arceus. The Ultra Games should be in the next video, by the way. And they'll be done with the plushies I got. How are they doing, I wonder? I want a Mega! I ain't playing around here! I will shoot! It will happen! Legend CA, give me a Mega! It needs to give me one! Why are you guys looking at me? Don't test me! I will shoot! I will shoot! Charizard, how did you fly us to the middle of the cave? Anywhere for the sake of research, just like my idol, Professor Birch! Professor Birch mentioned! Well, both flutes, we take the moon, and we take the sun, and— Oh no, Ferb! Oh hi, Guzma. Do you know what's back there?
Yo mama.
Why must you continue to pester me? I am sick of you. Sick through and through. Think about what you're saying. What about Mr. Guzma?
That's your boy, Guzma, thank you very much! Final evil battle, here we go. And while I am once again disappointed we can only fight Lizamine's Pokemon and not her in this weird form, it'll be tough regardless. She once again leads Clefable and I lead Agent Whiskey. Unfortunately, she outspeeds it to hit a rough Moonblast, but we live on over half and can now retaliate with a super effective Poison Jab for 2/3. She now Moonlights, but this is a losing strategy as Agent Whiskey hits her down further than where she started. She then Metronome's Attack Order to hit us under half, but our Citrus Berry keeps us in the game and we finish off the Fairy. Miss Magius comes in second, so it's off to Dingerin on a Pain Split. Okay, lady. We then take a power gem as a crunch gets the easy one-shot. Lilligant third, so we switch to Reed Richards on a stun spore that can't affect us. I then signal beam for the clean one-shot as next out is my low tech. So this is the most obvious volt switch of my life, hitting for over half. I then get to send out Agent Whiskey, who takes the hydro pump below half, prompting emergency exit, letting me switch back to Reed. And from here it's one more volt switch to finish off the Milotic as I send out Max Lord for the final job of dealing with Beware. Its fluffy ability means it takes double damage from flamethrower, so a single flamethrower is all Max needs. Textbook cleanup if I do say so myself.
Nebby, you belong with Myth now. He will be the one to raise you, just like any parent should raise their child. He will be your father now.
I don't know, lady. Based on how I'm currently raising my girlfriend's babies, I'm not sure I'll be the best place for your Pokemon. I do know someone who could be a better choice, though.
But daddy is a state of mind, you know what I'm saying? I'm your daddy.
My line is better, by the way. And here it is, Mount Lanakila. This is the furthest point I got through in my own playthrough when I bought Moon, before I never picked up the game again for some reason.
If I take one more step, it'll be the farthest away from home I've ever been.
Aw, an edgy boy even wants to battle. Well, the most interesting thing that happens here is the usual LingLing gets to lay the smackdown on the enemy El Lucario.
I know we ain't friends.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that, buddy. Oh, Ice Beam and a Z Crystal just sitting here with no trial. We got one more fight before the Elite Four, and it's with Hal. I lead Agent Whiskey against his Alolan Raichu and hit that stab first impression for a quick one-shot. Flareon is second, so it's off to Max Lord as we just take a baby to eyes. Hyper Voice does under half, but combined with Flare Blitz, Recoil, and Hail Chip, a second Hyper Voice is able to get the kill. Third is Kamala, so it's off to General Casey I go, taking a hefty Earthquake to just above half. Kamala outspeeds to hit a second Earthquake,
1.21 gigawatts!
as the Draco rains the pain down from the heavens and gets the kill. And now is the tough customer Primarina, so I switch to Agent Whiskey on a Moonblast. That crits! And Whiskey goes down. Oh, that's a rough loss. So it's now to Reed, hitting a super effective discharge for a chunk before her non-super effective Moonblast does more. Damn, that's a tanky mermaid. Well, we just need a second discharge to finish him off, wash Grandpa, and pour one out for Whiskey. And that last guy, the dragon user in the keep. Drake mentioned! And fitting with the dragon theme, we now unlocked our final friend, Penis Collector.
It said it would be horrible. It said it would be
I thought
ugly.
it looked delicious.
What's that?
I thought the penis looked delicious.
Yes, really. Pedro did play a guy called this. And I've not seen Drive Away Dolls. Okay, time to plan out which 6 Pokemon of my 7 survivors I should take to the Elite Four. Oh, Max Lord, can you go get us some candy while we think about this? Okay, thanks. Alright, let's go. I take Ungahili first, and I know what you're thinking. Max Lord would have been perfect against the Skarmory. But that's all he'd be good against. And Oberon can flamethrower this just fine. So we hit down to the red as Skarmory just sets up spikes, which is basically the smartest thing Kahili can do, and will be a pain. Kahili then switches to Oricorio? Huh? Well, that was also a smart thing for her to do, as I gotta start switching. I switched to General Acacius, who is none too pleased with the painful Legos laid out on the floor, but luckily just takes a useless feather dance as he comes in. Oricorio then teeter dances to confuse my poor grandpa, but we prepared for this, and a Personberry cures our confusion, so we're able to drop this birdie with a Draco. Mandibuzz is next. We switch to Penis Collector, hoping to set up a sweep, but we get confused with a flatter. To shake off the confusion, we switch to LingLing, taking a truly nasty Brave Bird down low before we switch back to have another Brave Bird on Penis Collector, hitting us down to our Citrus Berry. We again try to set up for Swords Dance, but we are thwarted by Kahili's flattery. Well, I take the gamble, getting hit in my confusion as punishment, and hits Penis Collector further into the red. So it's back to Grandpa Dragon on Legos again, also taking a Brave Bird below half.
Where is my super suit?
Another Brave Bird hits Acacius down to just 18 HP, as our Ice Beam now does finally finish off the bulky bird. Toucannon is next, and we switch to Dingerin on the full force stab flying Z move. It hits us hard, the red, before Din can outspeed and hit a no-guard Stone Edge for the one-shot. Skarmory is back in again, and Kahili uses a full restore as our Stone Edge crits and does over half. This is the best chance to get Reed as he only has to take a Steel Wing on the switch, but not too much damage. A Discharge then takes the kill, and we're down to Crobat. Oh, he outspeeds? Well, at least he misses the Supersonic as that Discharge just doesn't get the kill. We thankfully dodge an Air Slash as another Discharge then takes the KO. Good Spider. You did good, boy. I decide to take on Acerola second. I again lead with Oberon, hoping to burn the Sableye. A fake out doesn't get the burn, as Sableye annoyingly then gets a confused wave full confusion. I Shadow Claw and Flamethrower then don't burn either. I can then pivot through General Acacius, and damn is it nice to not have spikes on the field again, before going to read on a confused Ray that gets healed by a held Perseberry. I can then set up a sticky web so we don't have to worry about speed as much. A rough Shadow Claw drops us below half as I Volt Switch for the kill, sending in LingLing. Frostlass comes out in response and of course hits a Confuse Ray. And with the Flatter and Supersonic from Kahili and double Confuse Rays from Acerola, this Elite Four is feeling awfully cheesy. LingLing of course hits himself, then eats an Ice Shard, then hits himself, then eats an Ice Shard, and finally snaps out of confusion to sit on these ghostly rags with a heavy slam, getting the one shot. Delmise is third, and I switch to General Acacius on an Energy Ball that gets the special defense drop. It's then to Penis Collector on a dodge slam before finally getting to set up with Swords Dance, only taking an Energy Ball. A Crunch can then one-shot Delmise. It almost one-shots the Palisand as she sets up an Iron Defense. Then as she heals, it feels better to switch to General Acacius, who gets hit with an Earth Power to below half.
Get to the chopper!
An Ice Beam then takes the kill, and Drift Balloon's last, and only has Ghost type attacking moves, so we're free to take the kill. Hips, 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 leads with Relicamps, as I lead with Reed. A Volt Switch doesn't kill. I was kinda hoping it would. So I go into Penis Collector on what ends up being a Yawn. Perfect. So now I can switch back to Reed as Hips heals. Back to square one. This time I make sure to click the slightly more powerful Discharge to get the one shot. Lycanroc is second, so I Volt Switch to my own Puppy for the Puppy on Puppy featuring Puppy rematch. His Z move comes out, and one shots Dingerin. Oh, I guess Rock doesn't resist Rock. Well, at least now Penis Collector can come in, set up a Swords Dance, and dig, 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 Dragon Claw, dig, crunch, dig, and that's Hips done. So we've just lost one puppy, and we're on to the hardest Elite Four member for our team to handle, Hala. He gave us so many problems at the start, and now it's time for the rematch to end all rematches. He leads his now evolved Hariyama as I lead Reed Riches. I protect against the fake out before setting up sticky webs and taking a rough resisted close combat. It's then a Volt Switch to my own Hariyama LingLing on another seriously rough close combat. But now at -2 defense, LingLing can outspeed and take the KO with his own close combat with some serious sumo showdown shenanigans. It's now evolved Monkey is next, and oh, it outspeeds through sticky web? Oh. Oh well, LingLing goes down. Well, I send out General Acacius to finish the... He outspeeds him too?!
Fire!
I've been hit!
You're a maniac! You've got no idea what you're doing. I could have been killed! If it wasn't for the fact that my
Choppleberry
was in my jacket pocket, that arrow would have gone straight through my heart!
You are a toy!
Stupid monkey! Abomination is third, and General Acacius, I'm sorry, but this is how I have to treat my hero. Flamethrower does solid damage, as Ice Hammer takes down Drampa like 50 arrows to the chest. I wonder if his life was flashing before his eyes like it does in the movies. Sir, do you know this boy in question? Yes, he's a neighborhood friend of mine. And do you know this boy? He was the one that was mean to my friend. And where were you at approximately 9:06 last night? At 9:06. You're kind of sick? At 9:06. Your spine of clicks? At 9:06. You're strip mining bricks? You know, you're looking a little thin. You should eat something. Just get in the car. 3 Pokemon remaining, I send out Reed to get the revenge KO with a Discharge. Hala then sends out Poliwrath? Okay, I'm down for that. Discharge only does over half? Okay, that's tankier than I expected. Reed then goes down to a waterfall. My teammates are dropping like flies out here as I send in Penis Collector. A Dragon Claw gets the kill as Hala's final Pokemon is Beware. It's almost poetic, isn't it? I switch to Oberon as some rough hammer arms come out, but we're able to get the kill with 2 flamethrowers. And that's the Elite Four done. With 2 Pokemon remaining. And the champion has an Alolan Ninetales with Ice Shard. It's at this point that all hope was lost. Oberon and Penis Collector, having only known each other for a short time,
cried together at their lost friends. They were the first on the team and the last on the team, and yet each had seen hardships of their friends coming and going. As they were going to give up, a light shone from the heavens. It was Arceus himself.
For you, my children, have fought valiantly. I grant thee 1 level per fallen comrade, in hopes that you may avenge them. Take this blessing, and use it to become the champion you so desire.
With that, Oberon can actually evolve into his final form, and we're back in the game! The final fight is against the Professor himself, and I lead Penis Collector to his Lycanroc. I said, oh shit, he's faster. Well, Stealth Rock gets set up as we go for a Swords Dance. He then hits a hard crunch, of course getting the defense drop, as we just set up another Swords Dance. A follow-up crunch then hits us down low, as our +4 dig then gets the one-shot. Ninetales is second, and with a Yachi Berry we can not survive an Ice Shard. Well, it's Oberon or nothing now. We come in and take half from Stealth Rock and start setting up Quiver Dances. We have a Lumberry since Magneton has Sturdy, and if we get paralyzed we'd otherwise lose. Braviary and Decidueye both go down to Flamethrowers, so it's just Snorlax we need to get enough Quiver Dances to kill with a Psychic. We get to +5 and I'm not willing to risk any more damage and kill Ninetales with a Flamethrower. Braviary is third and also goes down in one shot. Fourth is... oh. It's Incineroar, not Decidueye. The resisted Flamethrower goes out and doesn't get the kill. And a full force Fire Z move comes out and takes down Oberon. So this is what Wolfie Glick sees in his nightmares. What a terrible day to have eyes for Oberon. I'm so sorry, babe, but your babies just aren't up to the challenge. Hey guys, I'm back with my candy. Oh my god!